Okay, we are live.
No,
No,
no guess.
good morning, everybody. This is the Black Westchester Power Hour. This is our WVOX show. So we're coming to you Facebook Live and recording live on WVOX. As always, hear us say the commercial break on the radio show, but we continue talking. On the thing, I want to give a shout out to
You're echoing.
I'm echoing.
You have to turn down the volume on your computer.
Okay, kid, it's still echoing. Still echoing. I'm not echoing. You're hearing me in both places, but I'm not echoing on the people.
Oh, okay.
I hear myself here too. Yeah.
All right.
Okay. Everybody who's tuned in, let me know if the volume sounds good. Shout out to Luis Cherigo, Pat English, Alex Harrison said, "Greetings, gentlemen." Johnny Button said, "Good morning, my brothers." Kenyatta Adams, Canute Brown Morgan, what's up, my brother? And everybody else that's tuned in. Again, this is Black Westchester Power Hour on WVOX and Facebook Live every first Monday of the month from 11 to 12. I am AJ Woodson, my partner Damon K. Jones. And
what's up, everybody? Welcome to the Power Hour. We'll be having the conversation once we go on air. Right now, there's a commercial. You can also listen to us at WVOX on your AM dial.
1460.
It's 1460 on your AM dial. This is the Power.
You can always tune in on WVOX.com as well.
Yes.
Okay. We coming to you live on Facebook as well. Usually, now the coronavirus, we're not in the studio. Usually, we're in the studio, and Damon just streams live on Facebook. So we're doing it from our homes now, and still over the phone on WVOX as well. So you don't get to hear the commercials and stuff, but I'll be pausing for commercials and all that good stuff, and you'll hear it. But we continue talking on the radio show. Let's see who else tuned in. A couple other people. Luis Jericho said, "Hey, it's good. The volume's good. Hey, fellas." Nancy Cater Maldonado said, "Good morning. Good morning, Nancy." Kenyatta Adams said, "Good morning, my brothers." Dennis Richmond Jr. said, "Good morning, brothers." with a whole bunch of fists and the arm. Appreciate you, fam. Who else? Yes. We're just waiting for the show to actually physically start on WVOX before we get into our conversation. I want to thank everybody for rocking with us as we approach our 6-year anniversary of blackwestchester.com. And next month will be the 6-year anniversary of People Before Politics radio show. It's been 6 years, bringing you the news with the Black point of view, and giving you that real talk for the community. Got the weather, so we should be coming on soon. Shout out to my cousin Wayne Robson in Atlanta, tuned in. What up, fam? So I got my morning smoothie, Damien. And I don't even want to come back, Damien. Man, if I didn't have to come back, I wouldn't be back for another month. Yeah. Word up. Got a much needed break. It's gonna be crazy when I come back. A minute to go. All right. Yeah, so got the anniversary coming out. A couple of events coming up. Alex Harrison said, sidebar, the Redskins for the season should change their name to simply Washington Football Club.
No, I think we could talk about that because there's some interesting. We talk about how money changes minds.
Okay, we will address that, Alex, as soon as we get on. As soon as the show starts on VOX, we're just waiting for them to tune us in. New logo, new fight song. All right, we almost ready. Good morning. You are tuned into the Black Westchester Power Hour with AJ Woodson and David K. Jones. I am AJ Woodson, my partner, Damon. David, say what's up to the people.
I'm trying to get it, man. I have so many voices in my head, man, between Facebook and
Yeah. I had to turn my head up.
I'm trying to get it all. I'm trying to get it all situated. But good morning, everybody. Good morning, everybody that's listening to WVOX. Good morning. Hope we're having a black-tastic Monday because we are Black Westchester Magazine, and this is the Power Hour. And we got a lot to say. We got a lot to talk about. There's a lot of things going on in the news. I believe that there is a real awakening in the conscience of people of all colors. I think, as I said many times before, the coronavirus put the world on hold, and they watched for 8 minutes and 45 seconds a man be killed. Man was killed by the hands of police. Something that Black and brown and even poor white people have said for years, that there is police criminality, not brutality, in poor communities and communities of color. And I think because we were not distracted by entertainment and sport and play, that we realized that this is a serious issue, and communities around the world responded in outrage of the killing of George Floyd. And
Absolutely.
protests are still going on, which they should.
Absolutely.
Peaceful protests, which they should, because we should not accept crumbs from the political podiums. We need laws that will address police criminality. We need laws that will address accountability. We need laws that they pass a few laws to take away some of the protections, so people can see who these officers are. And as someone that's in law enforcement for 30 years and still go to work every day, I worked last night. I believe if I'm getting the check, my paycheck, my benefits from the taxpayer, I live in a nice house paid by the taxpayer because my check comes from them. I got good benefits that is paid by the taxpayer. I should be accountable to the taxpayer that I've sworn to protect and serve.
Absolutely.
And my work record, not my personal records, not my social security number, not my address, not whatever personal information, but my work information, whether if I had write-ups, my attendance, my training, if I attended training classes, if I didn't attend training classes, my evaluations of an officer, whether they're good, bad, or indifferent, should be made public to the people. Should be made public. So if I'm saying that, and I look, I've been 30 years, so there should be in 30 years I should have a huge folder, but I don't, because I'm not out there doing silliness and stupidness, like some officers are doing. And when you find out, just like the officer that killed George Floyd, he had many complaints against him. And then they made him a field training officer. For people who don't know what a field training officer is, the listeners, the field training officer is the officer that trains the new recruit that straight out of the academy. When he comes into the police department, they assign him to a field training officer. And usually, depending on the police department, it's from 2 weeks to a month that they sign him a field training officer. So when you have someone that has write-ups and has disciplinary write-ups and have complaints from the community, how did he become a field training officer? Right? And I feel, and to be honest, I feel real bad for the cops that was on the job for 3 months because of the fact that they
3
were
days. One was
or
on there
3
for like
days,
3
whatever.
days.
Well, in 3 days, they were set up to fail. Because let me tell you, the culture of policing, and I'm gonna credit my brother Damon Brown. I'm gonna credit my sister Heather from St. Louis. They get credit for this 2 more times, and then it's my statement. The culture of policing eats policies and procedures for dinner. The culture itself. So we can address policies, procedures, and training, which we should address policies, procedures, and training. But we also have to address the culture of policing, because that culture supersedes policy and procedure and training, because you have people in decision-making positions that are more loyal to the culture than loyal to policies, procedures, and training and protecting and serving the community. Prime example, you had the black lieutenant or captain or commander or what, he had a white shirt in NYPD. He was on camera kneeling with the protesters. The culture in NYPD put so much pressure on him. He apologized. He apologized. He apologized for kneeling. He apologized for saying, "Hey, protesters, I acknowledge your pain and I acknowledge your struggle as someone that is law enforcement." But the pressure was so strong on him in the department, and he didn't want to be outside of that culture. Like many of us in law enforcement don't. He apologized. Now, see, that shows you how strong the culture is. So we have to break the back of that culture. And the only way we break the back of that culture is we have to be involved in the political process. And we have to put elected officials that is not scared of police unions and that is not scared of the culture and being called anti-police. So you can't be scared of being called anti-police. Why? Why are you scared? You should be pro-people, pro-accountability, right? So if you're that, then you will pass legislation and then you will force to break that culture. The culture has to be broken, and it doesn't matter. You don't break the culture just putting a Black commissioner. That doesn't work, because the culture eats a Black commissioner for dinner too. The culture eats Black supervisors too, right? Especially if they're conforming to the culture. So you need to hire people that are outside of the culture. And we don't do that.
My partner from Prince George County, he's tuned in and he says, he worked for the sheriff, Prince George County Sheriff. He said he firmly agrees.
Yeah. Thank you, brother. I appreciate it.
Monty Whitaker. Yeah, what's up, Monty?
Good morning. And I agree with that. We have to break the culture of policing. Because they do not protect and serve the Black community, they contain and control.
I wanted to say something real quick. So for people that see you for the first time, a lot of people say they've never seen Black law enforcement talk like this. Damon has been talking like this for over a decade at least, maybe even longer than that. And when he was the sole person out there, when other Black officers was like, "Oh, stop making all that noise, you're making it bad on us," and all the things that they're calling for now, he has been calling for criminal justice reform and independent prosecutors for well over a decade.
We got to
Okay,
go.
we're going to the commercial. On WVOX, this is the Black Westchester Power Hour. We'll be back after this commercial. All right, so we're off the air, we're on commercial. We're gonna keep talking, but the WVOX people can't hear us. I want to give all the, I want a couple other shout outs. Who else just tuned in? A couple other people just tuned in too. Welcome to the show, Black Westchester Power Hour. We're on Facebook Live, and we're also on WVOX 1460 AM here in New York for anybody who's out of state. And we're currently on commercial right now. We're not doing the studio right now because of the social distancing and everything. We're doing it from our homes. Usually we're at the studio and we broadcast live on Facebook. So that's why. So y'all can hear the commercial stuff. PG is predominantly Black. I believe so. Prince George police can be verbally crazy if you don't have family. That's law enforcement. That's what Alex Harrison said. And Monty I thought I said that, but retired. He's retired. PG, PD. I thought I said that. I'm not sure. Shout out to Tasha Diaz. I saw that she tuned in. Yonkers Councilwoman Tasha Diaz. Good job. I'm always watching, girl. Good. Always doing a great job. I say this all the time, and I'm going to say it back on the show. Here in Westchester County, I just want to keep throwing this out, though. I want to applaud everybody out there doing the protests, and I want them to continue to protest and not give up, because that's the way things get done. But while we're in Westchester protesting, and while we're in Westchester calling out names like George Floyd, Breonna Taylor, and Arbery, and I forgot the Atlanta guy, calling out all these names. Let's not forget the lives that have been lost in Westchester: Kenneth Chamberlain, Jonathan Maldonado, Anthony Smith, Kamal Flowers in New Rochelle, Mount Vernon Police Detective Christopher Ridley, killed by the Westchester County Police. Let's not forget to they're all still fighting for justice. As back as 12 years to Kamal Flowers just recently after George Floyd here in New Rochelle, where the station is located. So let's not forget to protest. Uh, let's not forget to keep uplifting those names. And now, like while you continue demonstrating and protesting, we need to protest at the ballot box. We need to protest by calling our elected officials and demanding that they pass. Okay, I think we're about to come back on. Yeah. Welcome back. Welcome back. You are tuned in to the Black Westchester Power Hour with David K. Jones and AJ Woodson. I am AJ Woodson. We're talking about, Damon was talking about police reform, the need for the change of police culture. Speaking as someone that's been in law enforcement for 30 years and is actually still in, as he said, he just got off work last night. So, but he's always been on the front lines. Always been on the front lines speaking for when the police violate their training and procedure in killing whatever of a black individual or violating somebody's rights, or if a black police officer, in the case of like Bovell and Mount Vernon, and what's the young lady in Buffalo's name, Damon? The Buffalo cop.
Carry-on horn.
Carol Horn, who did what we asked them to do. They saw their coworker violating somebody's rights, stopped them, reported them. In her case, she ended up being fired in Buffalo. In Bovell's case, they ended up retaliating against him, suspending him, I guess, making him go through, saying he had mental issues, having to go through all these things. We have to stand by all those who do. And shout to Charmaine Leon Evans, Cleveland Police. She's tuned in right now. Shout out to her. We have to teach the lessons that come after protesting because that's part of the rebuilding process. That was Alex Harrison. Yeah, we have to protest to the ballot box. Like here in Westchester, we just had a Westchester County DA race and still counting up the votes. That if we kept the current district attorney in office, then all of this marching and protesting and demonstrating would have been for nothing. You said you want change. That's the first place you can make change here in Westchester. We have a presidential election. We got congressional races. We need to put people in Congress to represent us in Washington that have our interests at heart like everybody else. That's going to be in there advocating for criminal justice reform and legislating police crimes. As we said, we use the word police criminality. Anybody that's protesting, we need to take brutality out of our vocabulary because when they violate their training, their procedures, and their policies, and it leads, especially if it leads to death or injury, it is no less than a crime. There's police criminality, not brutality. So I want everybody to take brutality out of their vocabulary for the conversation. And again, like I said, my man Damon, I was saying before the commercial, he been on the front line all along doing this. Black officers were telling him, yo, come on, man, you're making it look bad for all the rest of us. He was catching heat from black officers, catching heat from people in law enforcement, catching heat from elected officials because he was putting it on blast, and he continues to do that. And now, while people used to just look at him as the angry black man, the nation out there protesting in all 50 states and well over 20 countries are are, 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 are saying Damon's been right all along. Y'all thought he was crazy. They justifying everything he been saying for
Now,
the last
well, they don't want to, brother. They don't want to say I'm right. they just
No. I didn't say
wanna,
this. The people that said you were wrong. I'm not talking about the elected officials and the other black officers. I'm talking about the people that's been in the street demanding these changes that you've been talking about for a decade. They
oh
are
yeah,
justifying. They are saying that you've been right all along. They're
yeah.
saying you're right.
Oh
They're
well,
proving you're
absolutely.
right. Yeah.
It's absolutely, but the politicians that we've been sitting with, the community leaders, the black pastors that we have been playing the spook by the door for the last 30 or 40 years, me for 30 years, and then you got 20 or 30 years of other black law enforcement before them that have brought the issues to black pastors and black politicians, and they did not hear us, right? So now, all of a
David. I'll be right
sudden,
back. Keep talking.
or now, all of a sudden, they are speaking what we've been saying for the last 50 years, which is crazy, you know. But we are glad to continue to sit at the table and have this conversation of how do we change policing and change the culture. And brother Alex Harrison, my homegirl from the National Black Police Association, Sonia Wiggins Pruitt, she just retired from a captain from Montgomery, I think Montgomery County. I think that's the police department, Montgomery. Reach out to her. She's the president of the National Black Police Association. So she's right there. I think she's right down there with y'all. And I think, right? I think, yeah, Prince George, right? Yeah, I think so. But as I was saying, you know, black law enforcement has been speaking about these issues since the 1970s. You know, right? It's really it's really nothing new, but we have to keep it going. And everybody that's listening, please show out July 10th at 6 p.m. at the Westchester County Courthouse. We are having a rally for Black Lives Lost through the style of policing that we do not want. And you have the Westchester Coalition of Police Reform. You have the Martin Luther King Jr. Institute, MLK Institute. You have the Anti-Racist Alliance, Black Westchester Magazine, the Urban League of Westchester County, the Westchester Political Conference, the Bump, Blacks in Law Enforcement, Vocal New York, the Westpac Foundation, Invisible New Rochelle, and these are the sponsors. So
you are listening to Black Westchester. We'll be back after these words.
Great coalition of people. And we're about to go to the break. And this is WVOX AM. And you listen to the
Black Westchester Power Hour. All right. Shout out to Lorraine Moneypenny. Shout out to my man Adam Turnage III, and also in Maryland, I believe. Aleda Castile. Alex Harrison said my uncle was retired MPDC. Terry Watson said Carol, the rally for Carol is Friday. I guess in Buffalo. They're having a rally in Buffalo.
Yeah, we got our own rally, man.
Yeah.
But I do have to, as I told Carrie all, we got to set a day to take a drive up there, man.
So Luis said this morning on de Blasio's presser, the police are blaming everything on bail reform and the elimination of the chokehold to the increase in shootings. You know what? I'm not, that's another thing I want to say. I don't want to say, I'm going to say it again on the radio.
Yeah, we got to talk about that. We got to talk about that on radio because
Yeah.
what the crazy see here's the problem. Here's the crazy problem. These police unions are arguing the wrong argument, right? They talking about that they're not letting us do our job. Whatever the city puts in their policies, procedures, and training, that is their job. I mean, I don't understand. I really don't understand when these silly narratives. See, what the police union presidents need to be doing for their membership is saying that if you want us to have more accountability, then give us more money. That's it.
But I want to say, and I want to say this on the radio, but I'm gonna head and start right now, and I'll repeat it on the radio when we get off the commercial. Yo, there's a lot of people out there protesting peacefully. There have been ridiculous shootings around the nation lately. For all of y'all out there shooting and acting stupid, you are undoing all the work that all these people out here are protesting, and you are giving the police the narrative to excuse their actions, saying this is why we're doing it, because of all these killings and because of all this violence in those neighborhoods. So you are giving them an excuse. You are justifying, we talking about getting them reformed. People talk about the funding parts of the police department to include mental health and other things. And you're giving them the out, like all the work that these people are doing, protesting, you're giving these cops an out. You're giving them, this is why we got to go harder, not worse, not let up. We need to go harder. You know what I'm saying? And it don't take all of that, what they doing, because they know how to apprehend, arrest, and detain white people with guns. So, you know what I'm saying? It don't take all of that. It don't take, you got Eric Garner losing his life for supposedly loose cigarettes that he sold a couple of days before because he wasn't selling them that day. He was just broke up a fight. You got George Floyd, who either passed a fake counterfeit $20 bill or a check that wasn't no good for $20. None of these things are death sentences. And we need the police to stop playing judge, jury, and executioner. If they're doing wrong, arrest them, take them to jail, let them have their day in court. They live. You know what I'm saying? So I'm gonna say this on the radio. Because we have to have the conversation about our community and our behavior.
No, listen, you're absolutely right. But see, I'm listen.
No, I'm gonna come from this end. You can come from that end. This is about.
I'm just miss me with that police union rhetoric, man.
It's
not even, it's not even called for, right? I mean,
welcome back. For those on WVOX, you are tuned into the Black Westchester Power Hour with AJ Woodson and Damon K. Jones. Now, I want to say something. I said it while I was doing the commercial on Facebook. We need to have, this is Black Westchester. This is real talk for the community news with the Black point of view. Well, we're critical of the cops for the excessive behavior. What I want to come on a different angle and also talk about our behavior in our neighborhoods. Damon can address the police unions and all that afterwards. What I want to say is, for all of y'all out there killing and acting stupid, and justifying these police officers' behavior, when they say, we're talking about defunding the police and getting more mental health and other things that we need in the police department. We're talking about passing and legislating police crimes for excessive force and all that. And everything y'all are doing out there is undoing all the work from all those people that's protesting, because all they gotta say is, this is why we're doing it. Look, we don't need to let up. We need to go harder. And y'all are making it hard on everybody else. We need to get our affairs in order in the Black community and give them less reason to even be there. You know what I'm saying? Not more reasons than acting stupid. So that's just for me to the Black community. We need to get our affairs in order. And when you know the knuckleheads in your community that's doing the stupid stuff, then the community need to step to them and shut them down too. That's what we need to do. But Damon wants to talk about the police unions. Go ahead, talk about what the police unions are all about.
Well, I mean, we have. Let's be honest. The police unions is another racist extension of the police department, right? Even if you, because it's the culture. What I was talking earlier, the police unions support the culture of policing, right? And if you look at the history in policing, when good cops step up, they are victims to the culture, and they don't even get protection from the police union, especially black cops, and especially black law enforcement. Even if you have a black union president, he is succumb to the white culture of policing and the white culture of the police union. It is what it is. And still, until we have that conversation, look at the rhetoric that comes out of Pat Lynch's mouth.
Absolutely.
And I've challenged many times, right? And there's only one police union president that has sat down with reformist groups, right? And that's Brother Olson from Yonkers Police Department. I will give him that credit, right? I will give him that credit that he has. But the majority of the police union presidents, they don't sit down with the community. They don't sit down with reformist groups, and they don't even give solutions, right? So you have Pat Lynch with his loudmouth, Archie Bunker. That's what I call him, Archie Bunker, right? Because and he gives his rhetoric. He feeds the dog whistles, and he feeds red meat to the racist base of the majority of the NYPD police department, but he has yet to give solutions to the problem, right? When will police union presidents come with solutions to the problem? And the second part, they're also doing a disservice to their membership, because you cannot say that the city is not allowing y'all to do their job. Each municipality or whatever city that the police work for, whatever they put in their policies, procedures, and training, that is your job. So yeah, your job might have been something different 3 months ago, but when they made new policies, now that is your job. So you can't sit here and say, they're not allowing me to do your job. No, that new directive and that new policy is your job. Now you do your job. Now, if what you can do as a union president and say, if you want us to have more accountability, if you want us to have more training, if you want us to have more this, more that, wear body cameras, do this, do that, then give us more money. That's what you need to be talking about, Mr. Union President, is getting your membership more money. And I guarantee you, and I also am talking to the elected officials, you could get anything changed in the collective bargaining agreement and in your policies. Just give them a 5% raise. They will sell their firstborn for a 5% raise, because see, ain't nobody had a 5% raise since the 90s. You'd be lucky to get 3. Put the money on the table. You get all police reform policies you want out of the union, and make it public that you're offering 5%. We're doing a 3-year contract with 5% each year, but we want these things in it. Their body, if that union president doesn't go for it, the next election, you'll have a new union president. I will guarantee you that. See, because we're playing the wrong game, right? They're playing chess and we're playing checkers. And we have to understand the power and understanding the culture. See, when you go back to the culture, police want raises. They want raises. Put a 5% up there. I know all the municipalities is struggling because of the COVID, but put a 5% raise up there and put all those accountabilities. That union body will vote for that 5% raise.
And Sharman from Cleveland Police PD said they need to define what doing their job looks like in the policies and practices and writings and define it. I agree, because your job is to serve. Your job is to serve and protect, not put your knee on a brother's neck. You know what I'm saying? So
exactly. But see, you got to make it. You got to make it. You got to put some sugar on it for them. And how you put sugar on it, elected officials, give them a good raise. And I'm just saying that because I'm going to tell you, they're going to vote for it, and they're going to set whatever you put on the table, you give them a good raise, and all that stuff that he's talking about, Pat Lynch, big mouth Pat Lynch talk about, or any other union president would talk about, it will go away. But see, the union presidents is feeding the same racist culture as Trump is feeding. That's what they're doing. They are an extension of the racist culture in policing. That's all they are. Because a good cop, as I'm going to say it again, we have lists like Carry Horn and different cops. They will be fired for doing the right thing. But a bad cop, the union will go to hell with them in defending that bad cop.
Officer Bovell in Mount Vernon Police Department. Yeah. Yo, shout out to Sandy
even
Barnaby.
Bovell.
So shout out to Sandy Barnaby from the Anti-Racist Alliance. Shout out to Joseph Greer tuning in from Atlanta. Shout out to everybody, Lisa Mitchell, and everybody else that's tuned in. Appreciate y'all. Switching gears real quick because we don't have too much time on the show. Alex had brought up something earlier about the Redskins changing their name. His comment was, the Redskins for this season should change their name to simply Washington Football Club and become Warriors, resembling Redskins, because Warriors resemble Redskins too much. Take the time to pick a new name, logo, fight song. And I know you want to speak a little bit about that, David. So,
well, I think the owner of the Redskins or the Cleveland Indians or one of them said that he will never, while he's alive, he will never change his name. But something happened the last couple of weeks. The Washington Redskins, Nike pulled all their apparel.
See, there it is.
See, it always come down to money, in which Black people do not understand their buying power. We spend $1.2 billion a year on stuff, on nonsense, right? So now the fact that Nike understands that a lot of their money comes from Black and brown people, and they stood up and said, you know what? We're not going to sell Redskins apparel. And then FedEx got on board and said, wait a minute, we're not going to sponsor the Redskins game. So now all of a sudden, the Redskin owner is saying, we have to review this. Yeah, because he's going to start to lose money. And a lot of times these teams make a lot of money off their apparel.
We'll be right back after these words. We're listening to the Black Westchester Power Hour on WVOX 1460 AM. We'll be back after these words. All right, so we're going to commercial. We're on commercial right now. It's on WVOX, but we're still live here on Facebook. Shout out to everybody tuning in. Yeah, man, and I've said this for years when it came to the complaints of lyrics, certain lyrics and songs that the radio stations were playing. You wanted the radio stations to change, you start going after their advertisers and be like, if you're going to continue to support this station that's playing this poison in our community, we're not going to buy your product. And you know what? The advertisers will start saying, yo, as long as you're playing that music, we're not going to advertise no more. And you know why I know it works? Because Charleston Heston did it when that record Cop Killer came out by the rock band that Ice-T had. He paid enough money to be a minor shareholder, got the list of the shareholders. He printed out the list to those lyrics and sent it to all those people who they didn't care about nothing. They were just making money. So they got an email or a mail with the lyrics in it. And then when they complained, the Warner Brothers family dropped everything from their associate labels. Why am I on twice? Dropped everything on their associate labels, and all these groups got dropped. So that's how you got to hit them. You got to hit them in their pocket. I think we lost Damon for a minute. I'm not sure where he is, but I'm sure he'll sign back on in a minute. There you go. I don't know what you did, but yeah, I was gonna say why I'm seeing my name on yours. You signed off and signed back on or something. I don't know what you did. But Yeah, so this is how we have to. You want people to change. You hit them in their pocket. That's the only thing they care about. Their avenue, their advertising revenue, their sponsors. When they speak, even people like Damon said, they said they was never going to change the name. Now all of a sudden they're reviewing it now. And they're about to lose some money. They're about to get hit in the pocket. That's how you affect change. Right up. And we just got to learn. We have to learn how to play that game because we have the spending power. If we was like to boycott a McDonald's or something for a month, do you know whatever it is that we wanted them to do, they would be up there talking to the city to make sure that there was some criminal justice reform or whatever it is that we're complaining about, just to get us to come back into that McDonald's.
Well, we should be boycotting McDonald's and Burger King.
Period. Yeah.
Period. Because the food that they sell our children and that we buy, and the food that we eat, and the elderly, because it's cheap,
Right.
is ultimately killing us. There's a documentary called Supersize It.
Oh, that supersized me. Yeah. That was crazy.
Where a guy just ate McDonald's all
30
day,
days, morning, breakfast, and everything that was on the menu. Went to all his doctors and everything ahead of time. Was in perfect health, and after the 30 days, his body resembled somebody that had massive heart attacks, and he didn't have. Yeah, and the doctor was saying, why would a person want to do that to themselves? Why are you doing this? But he was doing it to prove a point. He gained so much weight. It was just crazy. All he ate was McDonald's, breakfast, lunch, and dinner, and videotaped everything. And then had the doctors monitor the results for a month, for 30 days. It's crazy. You can find it. I think it should still be on Netflix. But if not, just Google
it. Might be on, by now, it might be on YouTube.
But yeah, it probably is on YouTube now. But another thing they did, because it was Supersize Me, they changed that documentary, changed the game. That's when they dropped the size. That's when they started offering apples instead of French fries for the kids' meals, and apple juice instead of soda, all because of that documentary. I'm about to come back in from the commercial. Welcome back. You are tuned into the Black Westchester Power Hour with AJ Woodson and Damon K. Jones. Get ready to do the last segment. What else did we want to talk about briefly? We got, I don't know, about 5 minutes maybe, or something like that.
Well, I think we talked about, we really, when we were talking about McDonald's and if we're going to talk about Black Lives mattering, we have to really talk. We have to have real discussions about Black health. Black health must matter, because I'm for rallying and calling for accountability of law enforcement when they unjustly kill Black people. But heart disease, diabetes, high blood pressure, cholesterol, high cholesterol, kill more Black people every year than any police department ever will. And I think we have to have, sooner or later, and I hope sooner, because with all the information that has been given after the COVID, after this pandemic that we're still going through, and the fact that because you might have these chronic illnesses that come from bad diets, right? It's not hereditary, right? It's not your DNA. Do not allow any doctor to tell you it's hereditary. The only thing that's hereditary is your dinner, is what you eat, because you got that from your mother or father, and they got that from their mother and father, and so on and so on, right? Because that's the only thing that's hereditary is your dinner, not your DNA. So we have to change our lifestyle, like we're changing our lifestyle to deal with the COVID-19 virus. We have to change our lifestyle and how we eat and what we put in our body, right? We cannot take care of our car better than we take care of our body. when we will get an oil change and a tune up and put all the different oils and lubes in our car, and then we don't want to put the right oils and lubes and nutritions that we have to have in our body. So I
We take care
mean,
of the outside of our body more than we take care of the outside look more than we take care of our
well, we
insides.
don't even take care of the outside, because if you're taking care of the inside, it
No,
would
no, no.
reflect better on the outside.
I'm not talking about the skin. I'm talking about what we put on it. The expensive sneakers. We worry about more of the outside appearance.
Oh,
That's what
absolutely.
than what we put inside of us. And you've heard me talk about it. You know, I had a health scare, so I had to make those changes. And luckily and prayerfully, it was God gave me a warning instead of a death sentence. I mean, my blood pressure, I'll say it, my blood pressure for decades, let's just put it this way, people have died with lower numbers than what I had from abusing my body for decades, being in the music business and a lot of other things, just for decades. And I had to just see me. I mean, I start my day off with a fruit and vegetable smoothie now. You know, I had to, and that's another thing. Our vegetables, we talk about Corona and talk about our immune system, eating a daily dose of vegetables and fruits is as important as putting the mask on, as important as washing your
Absolutely.
hands all day. You know what I'm saying? Because you're building up your immune system. You know what I mean? And that helps you fight it off. You know what I'm saying? That helps you fight it off as well. So we need to change our diets. We need to demand. We also need to demand our legislators, our local legislators, bring more healthy alternatives to the community. We don't need another Popeyes, Burger King, McDonald's. We don't need 3 Church's Fried Chickens. We don't need none of that stuff. We don't need that. We need more healthy alternatives. Because I live on the south side of Mount Vernon, and there are no healthy alternatives within walking distance from where I live. Nothing, nothing, nothing. So if you're counting your dollars, you got the local Chinese food place and the local McDonald's and Burger King and all of that. There is not a healthy option within the radius of my house.
No, and see, and that's something that have to be, it has to be addressed. We live in food deserts where there's no healthy, where there's no healthy food. Now, I'll get some of the haters that say, yo, man, but how you talking healthy, right? And your family owns a cupcake shop. Well, you shouldn't be eating cupcakes every day, right?
And they have vegan cupcakes in there.
Right, but the point of the matter is, if you eat cupcakes every day, then something is wrong with you.
I got access to it, and I don't know when the last time I ate a cupcake cutie. I love them. I don't know when the last time.
I don't eat cupcakes every day, but they also have vegan, gluten-free cupcakes that are made to order. So there's no excuse for, even if you go into a cupcake shop, to eat healthy, and they have dairy-free cupcakes. So the whole thing is, you can still eat healthy, even if you have a little sweet tooth and you want, nothing's wrong with that. But if you're constantly eating processed meat, which is a carcinogen, processed meat is a carcinogen. It will kill you. But we eat processed meat. And this is the problem. And when you know this, why are you doing that? Yes, it might be quick to give to your children, but guess what? You are slowly killing your children. And when they become an adult, they'll end up with high blood pressure, high cholesterol, diabetes, and then die from heart disease and be overweight. So I mean, we have to make good choices, even as adults.
I'm sorry. One of our listeners said, prove your lifestyle matters. Learning cooking skills up front. It's your upbringing. Having a mentor in the back and get these kids involved in programs. But the term Black Lives Matter, let's get this clear. We are saying this to others. Originally, they was reminding Black people that Black lives matter. We have to remind Black people, because Black lives will not matter to anybody else until Black lives matter to Black people. You understand what I'm saying? If your life, if you, and I'm speaking from experience, if you're killing yourself with what you're eating, your life doesn't matter to you. So how can you expect your life to matter to anybody else? You understand what I'm saying? We have to make changes. I had to make a decision. Literally, if I wanted to live, I had to make some lifestyle changes. I want to live. You understand what I'm saying? And I'm not all the way there. I'm not plant-based like Damon, and I'm still struggling with a couple of things, you know what I'm saying? But my diet is a lot better than it was. It was all bad. There was nothing good about it. It was just all bad. You know what I'm saying? There's a lot of salads.
Look.
Yeah.
If you cut down eating meat and processed foods to twice a week, you will put extra years on your life. It's really not hard, right? We make excuses for doing better for ourselves. And what we say in plantbasedpower.org is that you have to have the four selves, which is self-awareness, and that means studying and understanding and being aware of your surroundings and yourself, right? And once you have your self-awareness, you will have self-respect. You begin to respect yourself by eating properly, by exercising, right? By not watching a lot of foolishness, because what you see and hear is part of your diet. And then once you respect yourself, you will love yourself. And when you begin to love yourself, you begin to have self-defense. You begin to defend what you love and respect,
Last
by
words.
outside forces.
We're about to end the VOX show. Last words for the VOX audience, David.
Thank you for listening. Thank you for VOX for allowing us to have this platform.
Absolutely.
Talk about issues and talk about the community and what we are trying to do to inform the community, no matter what color you are. And please, if you have nothing to do, the White Plains Courthouse, right in front of the Martin Luther King statue at 6 p.m. We're gonna rally for Black Lives Lost in Westchester. Please come out. Please come out.
And everybody else who's tuned in, everybody listening to VOX, not familiar with us, go to blackwestchester.com. All our shows are there, plenty of stories, updated news. We cover the issues. Make sure you do subscribe. Follow us on social media. All our social media is there. Thank you for all tuning in. The VOX, and again, thank you to the VOX for allowing us to, expand our brand. So until next time, peace. All right.
Thank you.
All right. So we are off the air on WVOX. I just want to, reiterate that eating thing, like just eating, the exercise, and I'm going through all of these changes right now. We Black lives have to matter to us before they matter to anybody else. We can shout Black Lives Matter, and we can have them painting streets, and we can hold up signs, but if Black lives don't matter to us, it ain't never gonna matter to nobody else.
Absolutely. Absolutely. We still live?
We're on Facebook, yes, we're still live.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Yeah, we're still live on Facebook. We just hung up on WVOX.
Okay.
And again, for everybody just tuned in, this is our the first Monday of the month we do a show on WVOX. We usually do it in the studio. Because of social distancing, we're not, I can take this out my ear now. Because of social distancing, we're not doing it. We're doing it from the computer. We usually do it in the studio and still broadcast on Facebook. But since we're home, we call into the station. That show is from 11 to 12. We got to go in and out. They got commercials. This is the Black Westchester Power Hour. I want to thank everybody for tuning in. Again, what Damon said, I want to reiterate that there's actually 3 rallies this weekend. The one Damon just talked about, everybody come out Friday, 6 p.m. Everybody. You will hear from, not like those other rallies that they had where they talk about lost lives, Black lives and brown lives matter, and Black lives and brown lives that have been lost. You will hear from the family members of the Black and brown lives that have been lost.
I think
There's been other rallies, they don't invite them to speak. How you
yeah,
gonna speak about the Black Lives Lost and not let the family speak? So you'll hear
right.
the family members of those who have lost. You know, we had Christopher Ridley on our show last night. You know, I mean, I'm sorry, Stan Ridley talking about his son Christopher Ridley, Mount Vernon police officer that was killed by Westchester County Police. We had Kenneth Chamberlain on, whose father, Kenneth Chamberlain Sr., was killed by the White Plains Police. You know, on Black Westchester, we've had Nancy Cater Maldonado, who's tuned in, you know, talking about her son, Jonathan, killed by the Greenberg Police in 2017. You got DJ Henry, you got Raynette Turner, died in police custody the same month as Sandra Bland. 5 or 6 African-American women all died that month in police custody. Sandra Bland was the most famous one and overshadowed everybody, but we had one locally, Raynette Turner. She was the last of the 5 young ladies who died, and she died over $35 worth of crab legs. We have the new case in New Rochelle, Kamal Flowers. We have Anthony Smith. I'm not sure if he died, but he got shot several times from the police in 2014 to 2015 in Mount Vernon. You have so many others, and we need to, in Westchester County, if we gonna talk about George Floyd, that's great. And we gonna put on a hoodie and say, I am Trayvon Martin, that's great. But let's not forget about those that were killed here where we live, and they're still fighting for justice. Let's stand with all of those families. That's all I gotta say on that. Saturday, the story, if you didn't see it, go to Black Westchester. I own a prep for 4 students, Black students who got tired of the systematic racism and discrimination and decided not to be silent any longer. They spoke up on Black Westchester. You can see the interview on blackwestchester.com. Look for I Own a Prep 4. Well, they have reached out to other students in the other schools throughout Westchester, and they will all be gathering at the Westchester County Center Saturday from 2 to 4. And we asked the Black community to come out in solidarity with them. And for one of the rare occasions you see Damon speak everywhere, I will be speaking. They had asked me to speak. And Cynthia Turnquest Jones will be speaking. And earlier that day in Mount Vernon, Jesse Van Leeuwen and Save Mount Vernon is having a rally. I think his starts at 1 in Mount Vernon. Damon will be there.
Yeah,
and,
I think we got to reach out to Jesse and see if we could get him on Thursday.
Absolutely.
Even if it's for an hour.
Absolutely.
Because I want him to discuss his rally. It's important.
Keep talking. I'll be right back. Keep talking.
Right. It's important for the people of Mount Vernon. Jesse Van Leeuwen was born and raised in Mount Vernon. He's a good brother, and he's trying to inform the people, and the people need to turn out. Yeah, they really need to turn out. So I'm going to myself reach out to Brother Jesse to see if he could come on for an hour and talk about why he decided to have the rally, why he decided to have the rally. So, but you know, we have a lot of work to do, and I want to thank everybody that is listening, that have been listening, that continue to listen to Black Westchester. Because we do this out of just service for the people, because we feel that it is needed for people to be informed about what's going on. And I don't know where the hell AJ went, but we have to let our communities know and let our police know that the community has never been, Black community has never been anti-police, right? What the Black community is anti-racist police and anti-bad police. You know,
anybody who come in our community and abuse their power and abuse the residents. That's
Right.
government agencies. That's elected officials.
Right.
We anybody who come through that violate the people's trust. We against that all the way. And I don't care what you look like, and I don't care what you represent, and I don't care what your title is.
Well, on that note, man, I got to get up out of here, man. I got to finish my yard. I got things to do up here, man. I got to wash my stinking Nissan. And I'm not washing the truck today because it's supposed to rain later, but I got to.
Yeah, I'm finishing up the vacation. I had to get a much needed break. I had to get away. I'll be back soon. I'll be back before this weekend for the rallies. But make sure you'll do all that. Check blackwestchester.com for all the updates, for all the stories. That's it, man. Working on the July paper, working to try to come out, hopefully, with the COVID. Hopefully we better come out with the print edition back again in August or September. Hopefully, we gotta wait and see. Because most of the places we have make sure there's no second wave and then close things down again. Because most of the places we were distributed to.
I don't know about y'all, but I'm wearing my mask.
Oh,
right?
Absolutely.
I'm wearing my mask. I walk around with hand sanitizer.
Absolutely.
Right? I wash my stinking behind.
Absolutely.
I change my stinking drawers.
Absolutely.
Everything you're supposed to do, and people, you know what? And people still think this is a joke. Yeah, right. They really continue to think this is a joke.
Right.
You know, and it's not a joke because you could catch it today and be gone in a week. Right. You know, so this is something. This is really serious, and we have to take it serious. Too many people are still not taking it serious.
And if you go out there protesting, make sure you prepare yourself. Make sure you got that hand sanitizer, you got that face mask. You know what I'm saying? Make sure it's a shame that we got to make a choice. All these people out there have making a choice between social distancing and social justice. And they put their life on the line every day because they think it's that important.
Well,
so let's make sure we protect each other out there with the mask and the sanitizer and do all of that.
Well, they just had a study. I saw one of the articles that the spikes in coronavirus is not coming from the rallies. Right.
Yeah, it's coming not our peaceful protests. They're coming from like Trump rallies. They're coming from all those places that said, "Oh, we ain't New York, and we're gonna open our beaches," and all the white people who feel like they don't need to wear masks because President Trump said they don't need to wear no mask. Mask is not important. He don't wear masks. Nobody in his staff wear masks. So you see, he couldn't even keep it out the White House. There's people in the White House got it now. You know what I'm saying? So, I don't know what y'all gonna do, but I'm gonna keep my mask on. I'm gonna keep washing my hands. I'm setting my sanitizer. I just sanitize everything downstairs, all the doorknobs, the tabletops, everything that people touch. You know what I'm saying? We just got to look out for each other. Appreciate all of y'all for tuning in. Y'all could be doing anything else. Y'all decided to ride with us. We greatly appreciate it. This has been another episode of the Black Westchester Power Hour with Damon K. Jones and AJ Woodson. Don't forget to see us at the rallies. Check blackwestchester.com. And until next time, peace.
Peace. We out of here.